I am so thankful that you took the time to join us tonight. You are, if you could just tell us a little bit, it's Suzanne Spam, and she's with Legacy Insurance. I met her at one of the events, fun events, over at Scenic Hills, and I just kept her card. And of course, we all have we love supporting the local vendors, and of course Suzanne, she's the owner and the broker of Legacy Insurance. So I know this was spur of the moment. Again, appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
And I just this podcast is just kind of reaching out to buyers and sellers because it's all about real estate. And of course, insurance has made a big impact on purchasing or just having it. And so I want your take on everything, what's going on. If you could just update the audience on, okay, this is what's happening in the insurance world, because I'm telling you what, it has ratified big time. So go ahead, have at it.
Like, I'm not going to break out in halves, I promise. But where do I start? So we are where we are because for a lot of reasons, for unscrupulous contractors, but really the unscrupulous contractors were able to do what they did because consumers were not educated. Home insurance is not a home warranty. So owning a home, you have to account for your roof is going to need to be replaced at some point. Your water heater, your HVAC, the major, 5 points of your home. We call it 4, but water heater and plumbing are one and the same. So 4 points of your home. And here we are. Insurance companies couldn't sustain where they were, and no fault to theirs. I mean, well, I don't believe that we were priced in the panhandle like we probably should have been, but that's okay. It's being made up for now. Do I ever think that we will see 5 or 6 insurance premiums again? Probably not. I just don't think that that's realistic. But, I get calls for my refrigerator went out. That's a home warranty. My kid overflowed the bathtub. Run to Home Depot really quick and get a shop vac. Those kind of things. But not everyone has an insurance agent that is going to tell them that. Or, a lot of times they rely on their real estate agent. We are professionals, and we are who they came to buy, sell, and to purchase insurance. And so when they look to an insurance professional or a real estate professional, we have to be completely transparent and honest. Some things I will never tell anybody that they can't make a claim, but you need to, weigh out things. Is it worth making the claim? Is this something that is minute in the grand scheme of things, or is it catastrophic? And again, I can't make that call for anyone. Changed. I've been here since 2000. I've been in the business since 2000 and the end of 2000. So I've seen the ebb and flow. Right, absolutely. We are going to see some dramatic things in the next probably 18 months. And dramatic is what I mean is we saw a lot of insurance carriers kind of leave the state of Florida. And by leave, they didn't necessarily go bankrupt. They just didn't want to do business with us anymore. So what a lot of people have not completely and fully understood is Florida was the only state in the country, to my knowledge, that had one-way attorney fees, which what one-way attorney fees mean simply is if you want to sue your insurance company in any other state in the country, you would have to have a very strong case, or you have to have this. In Florida, you don't have to have either or. Until reform was made just a few months ago, but you could sue your insurance company for anything. And whether you won or lost, your insurance company was responsible for your attorney fees and their attorney fees. It's insane, right?
Wow.
So insurance companies couldn't sustain. And then you have those people that come knocking on your door and tell you that you need a new roof, or, you have this damage or that damage, I always suggest calling your agent. You don't know the person that's standing outside your door, and you may not know your insurance agent. I hope that you do, but if you don't, reach out and talk to them. If they're local, go sit in their office and say, hey, this person came and knocked on my door, and here's their business card. Those are the things that are super important to making sure that this stops. So one-way attorney fees were overturned, and we're so blessed to have, the government to back us up with that. But these carriers have to kind of regain their footing. So we're going to see a lot of change in the next, I would say, 18 months or so. We'll probably start seeing some change the end of the first quarter of 24, and then gradually, a little bit at a time.
Will it be positive change?
Absolutely.
Are you anticipating? Okay, that's a relief. Okay, good.
And like I said, I've been in this business for 16 years at this point, and I'm really tired of giving people bad news. I'm like the bearer of bad news, and everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news." I really don't at this point, like at all. I've given some people some insurance rate quotes that were more than my first home was.
That's crazy. That's hard to believe.
It really is. And there are things that you can look for, but at the end of the day, you're going to buy what's available, and, you can't say, well, I'm going to look for this type of house. So any home can be retrofit to certain things. Like hurricane clips are a huge benefit and a huge incentive, and they're a lifelong. As long as the home is there, you'll get that benefits. The same with hurricane shutters or shields. Those would really greatly, impact someone's rates.
Yeah, we just had an inspector on before you, and he did mention the clips. He said you'll get a big, huge discount if you have clips on your trusses. And so,
and they have to be on every truss. Every truss.
Wow. They have to have photos of that? Is that that you've been finding?
Yes,
wow.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
That's a big deal. My hope is that everyone finds their dream home and that they live there and they're happy and they're content. Rates are going to go up. Rates are going to go down. It's just like interest rates. What do they say? Date the rate, marry the house, date the rate, whatever. I don't know. I'm not. But interest rates are going to go up. They're going to go down. We're going to see them go down again. Hallelujah. And the same thing is with insurance. But we have to stop with frivolous claims, and we have to stop with the fraudulent claims. Unscrupulous is not even touch the top of the iceberg, like of what some of these folks have been out there spewing, and you only know what you know
that
what
really
you know
made a big effect then.
It did 100%. You don't know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't ask. So I always urge anyone, talk to 3 or 4 different people before you make a decision. And not only, even if you have an agent that they've been your agent for ever, call around and see what else is going on, because not every agent, I won't say, is created equal, because I believe that we all are, but everybody has a different product.
That's true.
Most of the carriers are really good about making sure that they're not oversaturated in one area. So there are a lot of other options.
Well, I am just now curious. I have to ask this question. Can you give me an example of a fraudulent claim? Because I could see that happening in the insurance world, but coming from an experienced agent here, I am just curious. No names or anything like that, but just an example. I'm just intrigued now.
Be very cautious of who you do business with in the roofing world.
Okay.
I've heard some agents say that they only deal with 1 roofer or 2 roofers. I probably have 4 or 5 roofers that I work with in the area that do Santa Rosa scheme, but be cautious.
Okay. With
be very cautious.
contractors, maybe just contractors.
With roofing is primary.
Okay.
You know, is
Okay.
the primary. So there is a cost of home ownership, right? It's not free, and it's not for the faint of heart, right? But at the same time, you are not paying 100% interest, right, when you're renting. So if you know that you've moved into a home that you get a 4 point that it says clearly that there's only 5 to 7 years of life left on it, you know that you need to start saving for that roof. And roofs can go from 8,000 to I don't even want to I don't even want
Oh,
to give you a number.
I have heard the
Uh,
estimates. I mean, we're talking
Absolutely.
20, 25. Woo.
Depending on what you want too, which every carrier, I have people ask me all the time. They try to put me on the spot and well, what's the lifespan of a roof? Every carrier is different. Every roofing type and material is different. So you really definitely need to check with an agent before you buy or before you replace your roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. There are a
So,
lot of claims I could give you. I could give
oh
you
yeah,
a
you don't have
list.
to. I mean, I just wanted one
It
sample.
it would be a lot. It would be a long list.
Oh yeah, we could talk all night about that, huh? And hush is the word. Right.
Absolutely.
But Kim, I mean, Suzanne, I sure do appreciate you coming on board. And I always ask my guests, is there any advice in your industry? Is there any advice or words of wisdom for our potential clients, buyers, sellers, and just a homeowner, period?
Absolutely. So my first and foremost that I give to every single person that calls our office is know a little bit about your inspector. Know their background. Were they always an inspector, or were they?
Oh, good
I'm not going
point.
to give you. I'm not going to give you any examples, but make sure that you know who they are and what they're about and their experience and their knowledge. How long have
Mm-hmm.
they been doing it? There were a lot of folks that just rushed into the industry, and we see that in the inspections, and that will greatly impact your rates. It'll greatly impact how you write up a contract, and
Yes.
and so you definitely want the inspection is key, but also being able to understand what is urgent and what is a deferred item, and not overlooking some of those items, and making sure that you prioritize those things. But really, it's making sure that you know
All
who
about the
you have,
house.
that all about the house. But not only that, you need to know who your professionals are. Obviously they're going to
Yes.
pick a
Yes.
great agent, but you want to know who your inspector is. You want to know who your insurance agent is. One of the biggest things is, I get this question probably 3 times a week. WDO is not covered under any homeowners policy in the state of Florida, and making sure that that is understood, and that inspection is understood by the client, and making sure that they understand, you know, their property line. That is
Wow.
probably one of the biggest things that I've had to deal with lately, is
Survey.
not understanding the survey, and
Mm-hmm.
then something happening, and really needing to understand that. So asking
Yeah.
questions. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask.
Yeah, that's true. Never a
Mm-hmm.
dumb question. When it comes to a
Absolutely.
big purchase, I mean, I think just purchasing a home, period, is a big investment.
Absolutely.
And I agree with you that the inspectors, the professionals, the agents that we have relationships
Mhm.
with, they really, it really plays in a factor with buying this home. So I truly
Absolutely.
believe in supporting our local lenders, insurance agents, and inspectors, title. All of you guys are very important to
Absolutely.
every person, every client, every
Absolutely.
seller, or every buyer.
And a cheap policy does not mean that it's a good policy.
Yeah,
100%
because
does.
I know I've ran into some client. Oh, that's the cheapest one. I'm just going to get that. Let me just
Oh,
close.
I,
I
I
said,
talked
okay,
to an agent.
well,
I talked
no.
to an agent today, and she said, "Please don't send any of your quotes to my client. I want to weed through them and send
Ooh,
the
oh,
cheapest." And I was like,
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, I 100% told her I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so
Uh,
glad you're transparent like that. I mean,
mm,
really, I know that we have to have our clients decide. I mean, it is their call. However, we have to be transparent and tell them, look,
mm,
you're not getting the right coverage. I mean, I have had clients, I've got to have the cheapest premium. And then, of
absolutely.
course, later, okay, I might have to change this, that, and then I'll just call back and see if we can get another quote. So I've experienced that. And so I don't know
It's
what your
tough.
take is on that, but, that's
Well,
what's happening because of the
it,
change and the increase on premiums.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Where
that
there's a
really makes a
will,
difference.
yeah,
Yes, the
where
debt
there's a
ratio.
will, there's a way. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has to understand what they have and what they don't have. And that is huge to me because I got into this business because I found out the hard way that my family to
Without.
ever
Yeah.
think that they have something and they really don't.
Ooh, yeah. That's scary. That's scary.
Absolutely. And a lot of
So,
people go through that.
oh yeah, I totally believe that. So let me ask you last question, Suzanne. So when we are you available for like quotes whenever our clients actually need that, and then that way, I mean, I don't want to, it is your time. However, that's just part of the business to get that quote, get that estimate.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do that, prior to going under contract? Do you work that
Absolutely.
way? Okay, okay,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, I used to tell people that, I would get you something out in less than 24 hours. I'm
Not no more.
not so quick nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm a little slower. I told somebody earlier, I don't know if it's old age or
No.
the quantity that is coming in, but definitely if they are, especially if someone's coming from out of
Yeah.
town and they have several selections and they like, oh, I really love this one and I
Hmm.
really love this one. We'll look at them before you try to make go under contract because it's really hard,
Oh
to
yeah.
decipher those things.
Yeah, because new construction versus existing, the age, all that plays in the
Mm-hmm.
factor, and the
Mm-hmm.
premiums could be totally high with existing older homes. And I'm actually finding myself gearing towards new construction because I know that the premiums are like only 1,200 or less, depending on the square footage. But I don't know what it is, I mean, with you, I mean,
So
with the,
I will tell you the big thing. I tell realtors all the time. The big things that we need is their actual name, their date of birth, cell phone number really helps, and previous address really helps. It's called scoring. And so scoring is not a hard credit pull. It is a soft, like beacon flash, is what they call
yes.
it. But basically, it's looking to see if you have what your claims history is, what your bill pay history is, and you're going to get the most accurate score and rate with that. I mean, I have people all the time. I'm like, can you please give me these, this is a little bit of information. And they're like,
Yeah.
no, my client doesn't want to give it up. That's fine. So I give you this quote. And then once I get it, it's this. So it's
Right.
better to, not waste anybody's time. So
Yeah. Yeah,
giving all
and
the
that's the information that all agents are asking for. So it
information.
does make a difference with their name, their address, and phone number, and then you guys
Hmm.
do the soft pull, and then you kind of see the history, and then you can
Hmm.
move forward from there,
Right.
right?
And it does
Okay.
not affect them on their,
Yeah. Yeah.
I had someone last week. She was like, please, please, my lender said, I'm like, I promise that this
Right.
has nothing to do with what they were talking about. But
Right. Yeah.
just to answer that question, I mean, it's a valid question.
Yes, it is. And, people are conscious about that because,
Mhm.
they've worked so hard bringing their scores up. So I totally understand that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, okay, Suzanne. Well, I sure again appreciate you coming on the show, and
thank you for having me.
Yes, and I look forward to doing some business with you. And tell me when the next little happening is. With those events that you hold and
all the time.
Whoever, yeah. I mean, I know I should be on your email list, but we enjoy going to events like that. So
we'll
free
have
food,
you to all of them.
all that, yeah.
Free
Happy
food
hour.
and door prizes, right?
Door prizes, yeah, that's right, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep in touch, and
yes,
again,
ma'am.
thanks for coming on board, and we'll see you later, and again, we'll just keep in, we'll throw you some business over there, okay?
Thank you so much.
Right,
I appreciate you.
All right, you too. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.